Welcome everybody to Two Best Friends Talk Pokemon. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason, also known as the Red Viking, and over here is my other co-host.
I'm Chad, also known as Dragonheart Rising.
And today we're going to be a little bit all over the place, but it's going to be fun. We are 2 weeks away from Christmas, so I thought we might as well talk a little bit of some good holiday memories that happened in years past, as well as we'll touch on a couple of new and interesting news articles that were happening over the past couple of weeks surrounding Pokemon. So, first things first, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is your favorite childhood, could even be all the way up to 80 years of age? What's your favorite holiday memory surrounding Pokemon?
Well, it's so funny because I've got all sorts of different memories from all sorts of different times. But one of my favorites was definitely when we would get together and we would just play Stadium 2, play other games as well, but do our different competitions and um, just different battles. We put different teams together and just go at it and be like, let's see who the best one is, and do that with a friend of ours. And it was a lot of fun doing that. And we should definitely do that again next time we hang out in person.
Yeah, in person is the key word with that, because, yeah, we used to do New Year's Eve, we'd hang out together for many, many, many years.
Mhm.
Not all of them in a row, but it was definitely a staple where we would do New Year's Eve parties together. Remember, we even did that at least one year, where we even had my brother and his wife were over, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun,
Right.
definitely.
Hmm.
But yeah, Stadium, man. Let me talk about Stadium again.
Oh
So I
yeah.
know, I know, I mentioned it in my top 10 favorite Pokemon games ever, but the holiday is definitely one reason why it stands higher. It's because that was the game where you could play it on the big screen. And we're going
Yeah.
back, what, 20 years? More than 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back to like the
crazy.
13.
Crazy to think of. But man,
Yeah.
the mini games were so much fun. I absolutely love
Hmm.
them because that was a really good, we had Mario Kart, we had Mario Party, because we're talking about the N64 days here.
Hmm.
But Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2 were both really good party games because you could do up to 4 players
Yep.
doing the mini games for that. And then, yeah, we could do our battles, or we could import our Pokemon from, I guess, the first two generations of Pokemon, if we're including both Stadium 1 and 2, right? Because,
Yeah.
yeah, Stadium
Absolutely.
2 was Gold and Silver,
Hmm.
and then Stadium 1 was Red and Blue, and then you could do Yellow as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we could import our parties and then face off against each other. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I know you beat me more times. More often you would win on those, but
Yeah,
yeah,
a
because
little
I
bit.
remember you would do Nidoking, so I would do Nidoqueen and all this kind of stuff, right? It's good time. Those were actually really, really good Pokemons in Gen 1.
Oh, they were. And they're
Yeah,
so much fun. So
Re-
diverse.
they were. They were. The only thing holding them back was their speed was not top tier, but
Mm.
good
Hmm.
defense, really good attack, pretty good health too. So back when it
True.
was only, your attack, your defense, your health, like just a few
Yeah, and
things. You didn't have your special attack and special defense and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, it was just special. That was it.
Yeah, yeah. The simpler times.
Ah, so true.
Yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. Really good times with those. What was your favorite mini game out of the stadiums?
I would have to say, oh man,
Yeah,
the
it's tough.
Magikarp, the Magikarp jump was fun,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah. I
I
thought you
would
were gonna
say
go
my
with like the Lickitung, the food one.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. Actually, one of my favorites was the one with Scyther and Pinsir in
Oh,
Stadium.
chopping the wood, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. And for one main reason was on my team, I finally got a Scizor. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
can I put Scizor into this? And it's like, yes, you can. Okay.
Great times.
Oh, so good.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, and then there were some of the other games where you could put in other Pokemon that like evolve forms, or as you know, for some of them, obviously you couldn't put Gyarados into Magikarp Jump, but uh,
Could you
you could put.
imagine?
Oh my gosh, yes. You just see him up at the top, and he's just like nudging it over and over and over and over again. It's like, yeah, he doesn't have to jump.
Definitely not.
I thought there was one with Chansey. Uh,
Wasn't there one where, yeah, you catch the egg or something in her pouch?
yeah, and then I think you could bring Blissey into that one.
Yeah.
That was another cool one.
Speaking of those, so Stadium 1 and 2, they're going to be coming out for the Nintendo Switch online via the Nintendo Online service, right?
Yes.
Did we have a release date for that?
No.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was announced, and then yeah, I'm sure it'll be next year sometime, but no, they didn't say when yet.
Okay. Well, we did just get like the Mario Party games.
Yeah. Yeah, just got them.
It'll be cool. I'm just thinking of this now. I don't think they would do it at all because it would require work. But what if Stadium 1 and 2, you could import your Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon from Pokemon Home?
See, that would be cool. I think it would get a little too complicated.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Because that was my first thought too. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could at least grab them from the 3DS or something?
Yeah.
Because you can at least get those versions onto there. And then I'm like, yeah, I guess that could get complicated.
It would
So
require effort.
yeah, right.
But
I
no,
mean, it would be fun, but
yeah, it would definitely be fun.
mm-hmm.
That's kind of like a pipe dream. You know what though? One day, when the Nintendo Switch is much older, they'll probably have some sort of hack that you could do.
Oh,
Not by
true.
Nintendo, obviously, but
Yeah.
there'd probably be something where you could make that work. It actually makes me think of checking out the ROMs for that, for
Mm.
Pokemon Stadium, and seeing if they do have anything where you could, you know, import a team that you did by a different ROM. See
Oh,
if you could import
yeah.
Pokemon that way. Because the original way of playing Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2 was, of course, with those teams that you played on Gold and Silver and all the
Mm.
games, right?
Yeah.
That was definitely the definitive way to do it, as well as the one way to actually win at Pokemon Stadium to beat all of those trainers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is to do just a generic team that you can grab from Stadium and Stadium 2. They were
Yeah.
definitely not as good. They're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also something extremely special of a team that you raise, you defeated the Elite Four, you defeated your rival, you did it all,
Yeah.
and now it's time to go to the stadium.
And the other thing too is all the rental Pokemon have one particular move set, and that's it. But
Yeah,
if you're like, hey, I want to diverse this just a little bit, then you can create your own team and that you've raised and put them in with the moves that you actually want them to have. And
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that was so much fun.
Yeah, that was the part that, yeah, I forgot about that. With the rentals, can't customize them.
Mm-hmm.
They're generally good, but if I want Gyarados to have, I don't know, dig for some reason.
I don't think it can learn Dig.
No, I don't think so. It can't
It
learn
can learn
fly.
Earth. can learn Earthquake.
It can learn Earthquake, yeah.
Although I don't know if no, not in the first two gens though. I don't think that was till Gen 3.
Was it?
Yeah, because I remember I was just playing Yellow not that long ago, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it'd be great for Gyarados to have Earthquake. And then it's like, oh, it can't learn it. Oh, that's weird. And then like, wait a minute, can I learn it in Gen 2? Because then it's like, oh, you got your shiny Gyarados.
Yeah.
And then like, nope, can't learn it there either. And then I'm like, well, I know it's in Gen 3 because I had a team in Fire Red that was Charizard and Gyarados, and I knew Gyarados had Earthquake then.
Yeah.
It was perfect for double battles. But yeah, I was like, oh, that's right. Because we look at the moves that they learn in the more modern generations, and it's like, oh, they don't actually learn them in the earlier generations. In fact, if you look at Pokemon Yellow and Red and Blue as well, a lot of them don't learn the moves that you might think they would, like either naturally or even by a TM. Sometimes the TM's not even available,
Mhm.
like Flamethrower, which I was like, oh, I totally forgot about that. But like, if you want to have Flamethrower on any of your Pokemon, if they don't learn it, you don't get it. So Fire Blast is your best option.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Gyarados, it's like, oh, he doesn't learn Earthquake. Okay. Fortunately, in Gen 1, his special stats so good, it does not matter. You can give him Surf, Hydro Pump, and Ice Beam or Blizzard. Blizzard has an accuracy of 90 in that game. And you can give it Thunderbolt. And I think you can even still give it Fire Blast in that game.
I
Although
could not tell you.
I
I
don't.
remember that Gyarados, without doing TMs or
Mm-hmm.
HMs or anything, his moveset I thought was not amazing in Gen 1.
Yeah,
It was
it's
more like Bite and Dragon Breath, I think.
Dragon Rage.
Dragon Rage, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great in the early game, but it
It's
only does
terrible
40
later.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it only does 40 damage. So, um, but yeah, it does get very powerful moves like Hydro Pump and Hyper Beam, but Hydro
Oh,
Pump's
it did get
only
Hyper Beam. Okay.
yeah, and it's so good with it too that it's like, oh, that's perfect, but it has to rest the next turn, so you're only using it every other turn.
Yeah, and in Stadium that actually is huge.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And then once it goes to what gen was it? It was Gen 4 when they did the physical special split and Hyper Beam became a special move. Then all of a sudden it's like Gyarados sucks with it. So then it's like, okay, where's Giga Impact? Now that's the one you want.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad that they didn't keep doing Stadium, Coliseum type of games.
Yeah, the thing is though, with the main series games, they have different modes that do a similar sort of thing,
Yeah.
namely the battle tower.
Yeah.
So you do get that sort of experience. I was just looking over my games for Gen 3 again, and I was like, okay, Gen 2 Pokemon Crystal has the first ever kind of battle tower, and it's a lot more simple than what we're used to now.
Mm.
In that you could even bring legendaries in the higher levels, which is unheard of in once you get to Gen 3.
Yeah, I was
They're
gonna
like,
say, well, you know what? In Pokemon Stadium, I would bring in the birds, I would bring in Mewtwo, I'd bring in whoever I could.
oh, absolutely. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Mewtwo, be like, alright, he's gonna go first, gonna kill them all in one hit. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like there's the different battle tower in uh, I think was it the Battle Frontier by that point in Emerald? Can't remember, but basically there was that in Emerald. There wasn't really anything in the Fire Red Leaf Green. games, but that makes sense because they are a Gen 1 remake.
Yeah.
But then in Colosseum, you have a ton of them, like basically similar to what Stadium was. And then with XD, they don't really have that as much, but it's a great preparation ground to do Colosseum. So it was kind of cool the way they did that one. So out of all the 7 Gen 3 games that you can do, one of them is great for preparation, and then 2 of them you can go at it and pit your best against the best of the best of that generation, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that one, whether it's in Colosseum or in the Emeralds, yeah, no legendaries or mythicals.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
that they were easy to
it makes sense. It makes sense because it does, in a way, kind of break the competitive nature of it.
get.
Then you're
Hmm.
just steamrolling through your competition. But when you do need to say, I want to bring in Parasect because Parasect might get Hyper Beam or something like that, then
Hmm.
okay, sure, try your best. Or
Right.
Arcanine. Well, I want Arcanine because Arcanine can get Fire Blast. Okay, cool, bring it in.
Hmm.
But you're not going to be always going second, or always going first if you have, your legendaries because their speed is just so high, they hit so hard. All this
Yeah.
is like a much more even playing field.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
Hmm. Definitely.
A Stadium was a lot of fun, and you are right in the sense that even with Gen 9, I think I pointed it out in our last video, or maybe it's one before that,
Hmm.
where Gen 9 it does have the option to do like a stadium type of mode as well. So you got
Yeah.
that for your competitive natures. And we could segue actually over to version 1.1.0 for
Hmm.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Season 1 of ranked battles will be kicking off. Or at this point, it already has.
Yes.
So have you looked into that?
Not a whole lot. Usually at the beginning of any new Pokemon game, I'm trying to set up my different profiles, and that takes a little while
Yeah, of
because I've
course.
got a few. So what I do is I set up one game as what I call my completionist base. So I have all the items in there, all the TMs in there, and I have at least one of each item. So for instance, let's say with the nature mints, if I want to be using one of them, I don't use one if I only have one of it left, because then it'll disappear from the list. So then that way, and the reason I do that is mostly whimsy. I just like doing it. But when it comes to
I
the
thought it
T,
was OCD, but okay.
I was going to leave that out, but okay, a little bit of that too. But what I do with the TMs is I go and get one of every one of them, and then same sort of deal. I don't use them until I have a second one. And where that really comes in handy is if I'm training a new Pokemon, I want to see what kind of moves it'll learn. And if I don't have the TM in my item box, then I can't see if they can learn it or not.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's one thing I do with that. And then, yeah, keeping one of everything else is pretty much OCD. Won't deny it.
I do the same sort of thing though. I always want to keep one of everything. And in fact,
Mhm.
when I get them originally, I never ever use them
Yeah.
until I have a Pokemon trained up because I don't like knowing, or how to put this. Yeah, I want to see what the moves are going to be that they're going to learn. So
Yes.
I'm not going to go online and take a look and see does Blissey learn anything past level 55.
Right.
Instead, I'll train them up for quite a while until I'm maybe well in the 70s and go, okay, I doubt there's going to be any new moves.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead, let's take a look. And then, okay, yeah, she doesn't learn anything new. Let's take a look at the move list, and especially in this game, go ahead, press A, take a look at everything that she may have, or that we may have skipped over.
Hmm.
And afterwards, go, okay, I really want her to know this move or that move. And then I'll bring
Yeah.
up the TM thing and go about it that way.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, that's generally how I go about it. I don't want to give them a TM because I'm having a hard time at Gym X just because whatever reason, and my Pokemon are say only in the 30s or something like that, right? Now
Hmm.
go, you know what? If we're having such a hard time, let's change up the team. Let's bring in
Mm.
somebody that I know should do extremely well in this gym because say it's a fighting type of gym.
Yeah.
All right, let's just change it up. It's not going to take forever to level up a Pokemon at that point anyway.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't like giving them TMs at a low level. There's just something about that with me where I think, no, authentically grow.
Yeah.
Let's see how good you are. If your move set is just not that great, okay. But it's kind of like you get a psychic Pokemon, but they can't learn psychic.
Right.
Thinking, man, you are missing out on the best move of your type. Let's have you learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. And then also it's fun, when you get, say, a Pikachu and just teach it Surf. It's not going to learn it naturally, but you
Mhm.
could teach Pikachu Surf if you really want to. Or if you got the pre-order, it's a flying type.
Exactly.
Let's throw Fly on there. Let's go crazy.
Right.
But yeah, so so going back to the update. Yeah, so season 1 of ranked battles kicked off. Both of us
Hmm.
haven't really touched it yet. We've been messing around with everything else in the game because it's actually a pretty big game.
It is for sure.
There were some updates, such as audio issues that some people were experiencing when they're
Hmm.
doing the battles of the Elite Four as well as the top champion on the Victory Road path.
Right.
If you guys actually experienced that, could you let us know in the comments down below? Were you getting any audio or was it just really messed up? I'm really curious about that. Because I personally
Yeah.
did not experience that issue. Chad, did you experience that?
I did not know because
Yeah,
I was a little confused when I first heard about it. I'm like, oh, really? I
be
didn't run.
terrible.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so annoying.
Yeah, and then they also state on here, other select bug fixes have been made. I
Hmm.
don't know what that necessarily means aside from they're ironing out a lot of issues.
Yeah, for sure.
And
A lot of iron out.
I wonder if that means that they're actually fixing the bug type of Pokemon. So is Caterpie now a pseudo legendary?
That'd be pretty epic. I did find a what was it, a 4-star Heracross raid that made it a dragon, and I'm like, well, there's an upgrade.
That's a change and a half. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I love it with those terror raids how they get those different typings.
Hmm.
Like I found a Hydreigon. It was a 6-star raid, and took a bit to beat it, but it finally did it.
Yeah.
But it had the water terror type, and I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh, perfect. Because it's like, okay, electric and grass are its only weakness, being terrestrialized, but
Yep.
Hydreigon learns surf, and he's really good with it.
The
So I was like,
party
oh,
time.
so perfect.
Perfectly perfect in every way.
So true. So so true.
So let's hit on the last. I believe this is the last one. Yes. So last glitch that has been going somewhat viral on the internet because
Hmm.
everything goes viral on the internet when it comes to Pokemon and bugs or glitches.
True
This
story.
one though, I have not experienced personally with the shinies. However, I have experienced this glitch, if that makes any sense to all the listeners out there. So here we go. Scarlet and Violet players are finding shiny Pokemon hiding in the walls.
Yes.
So, The glitch part that I have personally experienced is sometimes when I'm in the tunnels, you press your button, you throw the Pokemon out of the ball, and it's gonna go around, it's gonna kill everything. Gather a
Yeah.
lot of experience. It's awesome. So a couple times I was in a tunnel, I throw the Pokemon out, he seemingly disappears, but all of a sudden I'm getting experience every few seconds. Sorry, every few seconds. I thought, what on earth is going on here? Because when I'm looking into the tunnel, I don't see anything.
Right.
Now, I'm not necessarily complaining, but I'm wondering what exactly is going on. So I turn my camera, and what I was going to do is, say if you're looking north, I want to look south. So you
Mm.
spin the camera around, and in the tunnel, sometimes if you're too close to the wall, you'll the camera will kind of clip so you can see the other side. And that's where I
Mm.
saw my Pokemon fighting other Pokemon. And there were a bunch of them. So what I did initially was I started to walk away, but if you go too far away, your Pokemon's gonna kind of follow you.
Yeah.
And sure enough, my Pokemon was in this area that doesn't really exist. It's outside of the gameplay area.
Yeah.
So interesting little glitch. So what they're talking about in here is apparently people are finding a whole bunch of shiny Pokemon. But if they are outside of an area that you can walk around in, that's gonna count as that 1 in 4,500, whatever the number is, chance of coming
For
across a shiny because you can't traditionally really fight that Pokemon because it's
yeah.
outside of the wall. So it's outside
Yep.
your play area. Oh,
That's rough.
so incredibly rough. Now,
Yeah.
have you experienced this glitch?
I was just about to say I have. I was down in Area Zero and just running down, encountering a few Pokemon, and then I looked to my right, and I'm like, "Am I seeing this right? All I see are two Spilus heads. That's it. Where's the rest of them?" And I'm like, "Is this just some sort of weird kind of visual glitch or something?" So I ran up to where they were, and then I encountered them in a battle, and I'm like, "Well, that's new."
Yeah.
And yeah, and then other times I did similar to what you did. I went really close to the wall and then kind of just changed my camera angle just a little bit. And looking at that, I'm like, oh wow, that's definitely new.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately that one has happened a couple times. The most common glitch I've encountered in Scarlet and Violet is to enter a battle and you can't see your Pokemon, but you'll see the attack coming out of them. But
Oh yeah, usually
yeah,
just press down on the control stick
yeah, that's
and
exactly what I was gonna say. And that's all you
yeah.
gotta do. But sometimes if you're, say, in the mountainous area, so the terrain
Mhm.
is really sloped, camera
Mm.
I find has a hard time dealing with that.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes I'll get pretty much the butt of my Pokemon is all you can really see. It's okay when the Pokemon are small, but once
Yeah.
you gain much later into the game and a lot of Pokemon that you send out are pretty big, yeah, it could get a little bit rough. So I just use the control stick and just move it to where I'm comfortable with it. Because honestly,
Mm.
I don't really care if I can't see my own Pokemon. I can see why some people don't like it, but for me, I'm like, ah, whatever. Battle's gonna be over soon enough anyway. Then afterwards, they'll just turn the camera and, you know, you'll see like the trainer that you're fighting just say whatever it is they want to say of how
Hmm.
epic of a battle it was and how they're so mortified that they lost. Um,
Sounds about right.
oh, absolutely mortified they have given up on being the very best, and
Hmm.
life goes on. And I feel bad for some of the trainers though because they'll talk about how they're lost,
Yep.
and it's one of those things where I figure if I was playing a proper RPG, there'd be a way to rescue these people. But instead,
Right.
all we do is we do a Pokemon battle. That's it. That's really about it. Like, oh, you're lost. Like there's a couple of trainers that are out on those islands.
Oh yeah.
We just beat up their Pokemon. They fainted. How are they going to get back to shore now?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of one of them in Gen 1. East of Cinnabar Island, there's this little sea route between Cinnabar and the Seafoam Islands.
Oh yeah, yep.
Like these different docks that are there, and there's a few trainers on them, and there's one who's a bird trainer,
Hmm.
and you defeat his birds, and he's like, "Oh shoot, didn't think this through. Now my birds can't fly me back."
There you go. Yeah.
Good job, you just stranded a guy on an island.
Yep. Definitely did. And that's why some people say that Pokemon itself is a very dark and twisted series. Apparently the anime, or not the anime, sorry, the manga, the
Mhm.
comic, apparently gets kind of weird. But
Oh yeah.
I like to keep it chill on just, you know, play Pokemon Go or play the Generations or watch some of the anime. It's
Hmm.
good enough. But yeah, you just stranded guy. It sounds like you're the villain of the story.
It totally does.
Especially when you don't even have the option to offer anything for this person.
Right?
You're like, oh, I'm really sorry about that. Here, I could give you a Pidgey. I have lots of them. But no, no, no.
And it is funny because with the storyline as well, like people think, oh, it's such a kid's game, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how many games do you know have a 10-year-old go around and basically make animals submit to its will and then take on evil corporations that adults can't even conquer?
Yeah, no,
And,
you got a point.
and there's Pokemon.
It's Pokemon that you enslave into little tiny balls.
Yep.
Yeah. No, man, yeah. There's some weird like fan theories out there as well with Pokemon, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. So actually, have an interesting story here.
Mm.
The Pokemon trading cards will no longer feature the iconic yellow border.
Oh, right.
So, as spotted by Cerebi, oh wait, hold on. Since the very beginning, Pokemon trading cards have always had one thing in common: the iconic yellow border. So, as spotted by Cerebi, this is now no longer the case, as basic Pokemon cards based on Scarlet and Violet will now feature a silver-colored border, bringing the Western designs in line with the Japanese variants.
Mm.
So, I think this is also possibly a way for everything to be match to be together, so you don't have to create two separate, well, entirely separate versions of the cards. Of course, one of them
Yeah.
will have the Japanese language on it, the other one will have the English. But at least you don't have to change the colors. It's just going to be the fonts moving forward, which
Yeah.
should be a cheaper way to do things.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah. And then lastly in this article, so not only that will be the change, but it's also been confirmed that the price of Pokemon cards will increase slightly in line with inflation from
Mm.
$3.99 to $4.49 US dollars.
Okay.
But to offset this, there will be 3 guaranteed foil cards in each booster pack, and all rare or higher cards will be foil. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the flip side to that, this is just me speaking here. On the flip side to that, that means that all of those more rare cards, when you want to go and resell them, they're going to be
Mm.
cheaper because they're more common.
Yeah.
So, so if you want to be a collector, just to collect the cards, this is good.
Yep.
But if you are one of many people that I've seen on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, all over the place that like to open packs on camera and then they resell them later on. Yeah, all those prices are going to go down,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, it's kind of interesting though that they're getting rid of the yellow border. I believe
Mm-hmm.
that that will make those cards actually more valuable because they'll be more iconic of the first. Oh geez, when a Pokemon trading card come out? I think it came out in Gen 1. Let's
Yeah, it did.
say 25 years. of the yellow border, and now we're going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll probably make those cards just worth a little bit more. It'll take some time, unless it's like Gen 1 Charizard. That thing will still be worth a lot of money. I think it was
Oh.
in the six figures last I saw. I could be wrong on that. Correct me in the
Mm-hmm.
comments down below if I am, but I believe that card was just ridiculously priced if it was like if it had gone through the grading system. So it has that really fancy hard plastic on it.
Yep.
Yeah, some of those are worth a small fortune.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, if you get them in like good condition and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, is right.
Oh, yeah.
Last news article I have here is there is going to be new Pokemon sizes in Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
So before we had your traditional one, you were normal sized Pokemon, you were small, you were large, you're extra small, you're extra large. So now we're going to go with more of the North American sizing where you have the double XL, not very common, but you have the sorry, I said that wrong. You have the double XS, which is not very common, and the double XL, which is becoming more common.
Yes.
I actually may keep that in there because that was just funny.
That
No, there's
was.
a lot of double XL people out there.
Oh, yeah. I'm one of them.
But yeah, so now your Poochyena can be a double XL. I don't know if that will mean that it gets different moves.
Probably not. I think it's
Probably.
just the size. The moves generally change based on their appraisal. Bit better the appraisal, the better the moves. But size really doesn't have any effect on it at all, other than it looks bigger.
Yeah,
Kind of
some of them
going in
look
line.
really, really tall. But that's something
Yeah.
that you more so see in the main games, not really in Pokemon Go.
Well, I think Go has had it longer than the main games have.
Oh, does that?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the idea of it anyway. Because then with Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee, that's where you started to see, the extra small to the extra large sizes.
Oh, I just saw this now, the new encounter animations. So when you encounter a double X, either one, it'll say, actually, are you still able to see this or not?
Let's see here. Nope.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if I kept you live on this or not.
Oh no,
So
I
the
think that
new
one
encounter animations,
ended.
you'll have that traditional thing of a wild Poochyena appeared, right? Or approached or whatever it
Mhm.
is. But then afterwards, if it's double XS or double XL, it'll say it's tiny or it's huge.
Okay,
So you do get that change actually in the encounter animation, which is pretty cool.
definitely.
And how I was just saying that you can't really see the size variation in Pokemon Go. Now apparently you actually will be able to see it if you have it set
Oh.
to, your buddy.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Another thing, sizes will now be tracked in the Pokedex. So once you catch at least 3 of any one Pokemon, your Pokedex will begin to showcase your records for the largest, the smallest, the heaviest, and the lightest specimens that you caught.
Oh, cool.
As well as new celebratory messages for breaking records. So trainers who catch double XS or double XL Pokemon, or find smaller, extra large sized Pokemon that they caught previously, can enjoy a new celebratory message when they break their record. Once again, trainers need to catch at least 3 of any particular Pokemon to set a record for that on.
Right.
So yeah, you'll have the size as well as the weight that'll be recorded for those new records.
Okay.
So there you go. If you are a Pokemon Go trainer, fan, whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
darn it, they have new things. It is the man. So I'm just gonna say something. It's a little bit off, but just bear with me here. In the Game Awards, they had a category for the game that has been, oh, what do you call it? Oh shoot, let me think here for a second. The game that has been supported the best over the past year.
Right.
If they had the category that included mobile games, I think that Pokemon Go should be nominated for it because they keep
Oh,
on giving us stuff every single month. There's something new.
yeah.
But this size thing, at first I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. You could get a double XL, a double XS. That's neat. But the fact that they're gonna give us records that we can break, bro, does that mean that I have to catch everything again? Because I was getting to a point where I was like, if it's not shiny or if it's not a rare kind of Pokemon, I don't really care when I see it on the screen.
Right.
Now it's like, oh, is this gonna be the new record for like the biggest Pikachu ever recorded? Because I swear there's gonna be a website. I'm not gonna look at it right now, but
Hmm.
I swear there's gonna be a website that will have recorded the biggest and the smallest sizes for these Pokemon.
Oh, probably, yeah.
It's gotta be, right? Or at
Hmm.
least hold a competition with your Pokemon Go community. Let's try to find the biggest, I don't know, the biggest Mawile.
Yep.
First off, hopefully you've actually found three of them and caught them, but that's not really common Pokemon. But anyways, bear with me here. But yeah, I could definitely see competitions going on for that.
Hmm.
So more reason to play Pokemon Go, and finally we have a reason to catch a lot of common, uncommon, and rare Pokemon instead of just going shiny hunting or just trying to get the very best legendary, mythical, pseudo legendary that we can get.
Yeah.
Dude, now I could totally see it too, where you get a double XS, but it has to be a perfect IV.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh man, yeah. So a lot more catching you could do, a lot more reason to open up that app and just go wild with it.
Hmm.
But that is a cool update, as well as you actually have an animation, so you'll know right away if it's going to be an extra extra small or extra extra large, which is pretty
Hmm.
cool actually. That helps out instead of just going with the eye test. Um, yeah, that's everything that I have for topics for today. We haven't even touched yours yet, have we?
Not yet.
All right, let's go for it. Saving the best for last.
Oh, beautiful. So this coming up weekend, we are getting round two of the Charizard raids. And so if you were playing and uh, had the 6-star Terra raids available in your profile or in your particular save file, then you may have already tried them. And hopefully you have succeeded and have been able to catch your Charizard. But if not, you get a second chance. Now, if these Charizards are the same as they were, basically a week and a half ago, then you're going to want to set up a team that can obviously hit a dragon type hard because it'll have the dragon terror type, but can also resist special attacks in general. If you're trying to just get one element, fairy is your best bet, but not a guarantee with some of them that you'll be able to tolerate all of Charizard's attacks. But a lot of the top Pokemon are Azumarill. Actually, I don't know why I was pluralizing that. Azumarill is technically one of the top Pokemon that players will use.
Yep.
If you can get the Belly Drum egg move onto him, and then just go wild with Play Rough and have other people either like setting up Light Screen, which will cut special attacks in half. Definitely a good idea. And then have someone else that's healing the team with a move like what's it called? Healing or heal do? Life do. That was
Yeah,
it.
I'd like to.
I
At
was
first,
like,
I'm like, wait, what's he trying to say here? And I heard do, but you corrected yourself there. That's good.
Yes, I was kind of combining Healing Pulse with Life Dew. So
Oh,
yeah,
healing pulse. Yeah.
so that is good if you can get four trainers together. The big thing with doing four trainers at the same time is that if any of them get knocked out, your timer is going to go down by a chunk, not just by a little bit. So if you're playing by yourself and you're like, hey, I've tried it with trainers, it's not working, not getting a proper setup or anything like that, I want to submit to you one Pokemon that will do it. And it's called Fluttermane. It is a ghost and fairy type, and it looks like the evolved form of Mischievous. What it actually is the past form of Mischievous. And this thing is the perfect Charizard counter. Unfortunately, if you're playing Violet, it's also a Scarlet exclusive,
Yeah, that's not very fun. That's not very fair.
especially since a lot of people favor Violet over Scarlet.
Is that really the best
Yeah,
selling version?
yeah, it is. And
Interesting.
a lot of trainers have been going for Violet over Scarlet, which, yeah, it has been interesting.
Yeah,
So,
because usually red is always like, the best selling one.
yeah, whichever the first one is, like whether it's red or gold instead of silver or
Hmm.
diamond instead of pearl, it always seems to be the first one.
Yeah.
And this time around, no, it's Violet.
I wonder why.
I think a lot of people prefer the legendary Miraidon over Coraidon because they're like, oh, technology's better that way. Um, some of the exclusives that you get in Violet, I mean, the Iron Hands is a rampager through most of the higher up raids.
Hmm.
I have one that's fully trained up, and yeah, most of the raids, it's like I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to send an Iron Hands and find a way to make it work.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
most of the time, it actually works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're trying to find a good Charizard counter, if you can get uh, someone with Scarlet, whether you're like if you're on Facebook, go into some of the groups, they might be able to help you out. If you know someone who has Scarlet who can either trade one to you or you can join their adventure and go find one, like we were showing you last week,
Yep.
definitely do it and train its EVs basically into the special attack and special defense. So what you're going to do is first get a modest mint if it doesn't have the nature that will increase its special attack and decrease its physical attack. That's the first thing you're going to want to do. Then you're going to want to buy 26 calcium and 26 zinc, and then buy another one of whichever. I usually just go with HP up. It won't, that one won't make much of a difference, but the calcium and the zinc will fully boost its special attack and special defense. Get bottle caps and increase all of them except for physical attack. You wouldn't really need it, but increase all the others. And you are going to have a Pokemon who is naturally fast, so it's going to actually outspeed Charizard. And then it can tank most hits pretty well. And then it's going to dish out a lot of damage too. And so for a move set to help alongside this, there's really only three moves that you need.
Only three.
Only three. First one you're going to need is Calm Mind. And I believe it needs to be a TM because I don't think it learns it naturally. So find the TM for Calm Mind and teach it. And then it will naturally learn a move called Moonblast. And that's a very powerful fairy type move, which can also lower special attack. So if you're able to get
Oh
that
yeah, that's right.
yeah, if you can get that secondary effect onto Charizard, you're going to be taking even less damage. But then the key move you're going to need is Draining Kiss. And again, I was trying to remember because it's been a little while since I trained this one up. Whether or not it learns it naturally, I don't think it does. But if it does, just put it on there. If not, it's a TM as well. So teach it to it, make sure it has it. And the key part of that is basically the key part of any of the higher up raids is survival. You need to keep living in order to really make those raids work. Because
Yeah.
again, as soon as a human trainer faints or the Pokemon faints, then it's going to go, that timer's going to go down by a chunk instead of just this gradual um, countdown.
Yeah.
So get your Fluttermane, equip it with the special attack and special defense EVs, do the bottle caps to hyper train all the stats again, except you don't really need physical attack. And then get the modest mint if it doesn't have modest nature. Again, that'll be special attack up, physical attack down. And then equip Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, and Moonblast onto it. And I have actually done a number of Charizard raids. There's this funny little thing which Sword and Shield did the same thing, where if you don't update your Sword and Shield was the wild area. If you didn't update the wild area, or in this one, if you don't update, I forget what it's called, but basically all the raids. If you don't go into the mystery gift option and actually update them, they kind of just stay the same. So I had Charizard raids for basically the next week.
Really?
Yeah, until the new ones came out, and then I don't know if it automatically updated or what. But then I was like, oh, they're gone. But yeah, I was able to do them for basically a full week. And every time I would just throw Fluttermane into there and start off doing Calm Mind twice, which will boost your special defense twice and special attack twice. And then Draining Kiss to get your health back. And because Charizard has so much health, it has 30 times its normal health and a 7-star. Yeah, which means you get a lot of health back. So you're just fully recovering. And then if for any reason it's like, okay, my health is getting down on, or sorry, my health is not down too much, I don't need to recover, then use Moonblast and you're going to do a vast amount of damage. And that's really the best way to go. And then at some point, Charizard is going to do that thing where it eliminates all of your status changes,
Yeah.
which will include your boosts. So as soon as that happens, just hit Calm Mind twice again. And then for kicks, one time I did it a third time, and I was like hardly taking any damage, and then I was just pummeling him. And so it's a strategy that helps you survive it, but also helps you deal enough damage that you can do it before the timer goes out. In fact, most of mine were done with still half the timer left.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is insane for a raid of that caliber.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is. I've already got Fluttermane ready to go again.
Nice.
For the Charizard raids coming up, and again, like you can only catch one Charizard, but the rewards you get, there's a lot of experience candy, there's a lot of different, I believe it was nuggets that you usually get with that one, so you can get these
Okay. Lots of money.
lots of money, and you can also get dragon type Terra shards, which for me is like, yes, I can get the dragon Terra type on more Pokemon, this is great.
Yeah.
Then there's also mints, the nature mints you can sometimes get, and usually they're modest, which is definitely one of my more favorites to do. And then, yeah, like just great items that you can get. And as well, if you're wanting to jump into many other raids, you're going to be bringing in a Pokemon that's not really going to faint. And you can be helping other people out to get their Charizards as well. If
Yeah,
that's your
totally.
The one time I did run into a problem was this little thing called critical hits.
Oh, yeah.
I powered up my Flutter main up to like by 2, and so I'm like, hey, I'm not doing much damage. And next thing I know, Charizard uses Sunny Day, which actually also powers up Flutter main with its ability. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
nice, because his ability will cause his special attack, if that's his best stat, to go up during the intense sun. So it's kind of perfect that way as well. But then, yeah, just like boom, gone. And I was like, what in the world just happened? And it's like, oh, it's a crit.
Rough.
That's just the unavoidable one. Critical hits suck. And if Charizard's using Sunny Day and Fire Blast and he gets a crit, I mean, nothing's really going to survive that one. So
Yeah.
just try it again if you can't get it done with the timer. There was one time where I had to retry one, I think twice, both times because of crits. And that was it.
Rough.
So just unfortunate,
Yep.
but yeah, that's definitely one Pokemon that you can use to, and really the only one I know of that is strong enough to take the attacks and strong enough to hit its health down fast enough for the timer.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully you'll all be able to get your Charizards and enjoy raiding this weekend. Hopefully yeah. Well, this will be middle of the week, so hopefully you enjoyed the Tyranitar and Salamence raids. Those were interesting. But yeah.
Who doesn't like a good Salamence?
Oh, I know, right? So
Dragon
good.
flying. Good.
Oh, so good. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to get some good Charizard raids in.
Absolutely. And do we know what's gonna be the event after Charizard raids?
That we do not.
Okay.
The only events we have found out so far were the 2 Charizard raids, and then right in between them was what's happened in this past weekend, which was the Tyranitar and Salamence raids. So I'm sure we will find out soon enough about what's coming up next.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll do like some Christmas sort of thing or holiday kind of thing.
Yeah, that could very well happen. We might be seeing Snum and Frostmoth.
Frostmoth. I
There's
like
there's a
that Pokemon. I think it looks good.
It does. It's got a terrible typing, but it's such a cool Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, see the funny thing with that Pokemon is when I see it from a ways away, I look at it, I'm thinking, is that Togekiss?
Oh yeah.
Right? And I'm like, oh, it's not. Too bad. But it's a good looking Pokemon though, because
It
Togekiss
is.
looks really cool. So
Definitely.
yeah, maybe we'll get some ice types or something.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of good ice types in the game, so
Hmm,
might be getting something with that.
absolutely. Well, I think that'll be it for podcasts for this week.
Mm-hmm.
And next week, of course, we will be having Jay on with us. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so you know what? I might as well do that. So everybody, for next week, we're going to be having a special guest appearance of a fellow Pokemon fanatic. He has his own YouTube channel. Actually, I'll cut that part out because I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah.
But
Just say that we're having a special guest tune
yeah,
in.
yeah, which I already had that first life anyway, so I'll just cut it.
Perfect.
But yeah, yeah, no, that'll work. That'll work because yeah, he definitely would introduce himself and he could actually ramble off his YouTube channel name and Twitter and whatever else. Because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him a spot to do that as well. He could either do it at the beginning or at the end, or he could double it up if he wants to. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But yes, yeah, what I'll be doing, I will be